Good morning from Santa Cruz. Today we're going to be working on probability, and there are always probability questions, usually one, possibly two in a test, and they're pretty easy. We're just going to go over two questions today, and the first one is test one, section 4, number 21, and I already, as you can see, drew out the table. And the question says, the data in the table above were produced by a sleep researcher studying the number of dreams people recall when asked to record their dreams for 1 week. Group X consisted of 100 people who observed early bedtimes, and Group Y consisted of 100 people who observed later bedtimes. If a person is chosen at random from those who recalled at least one dream, what is the probability that the person belonged to Group Y? Now, here is your major takeaway for probability, and that is to really focus in on the question. So the question says, if a person is chosen at random from those who recalled at least one dream, those who recalled at least one dream, and what I want you to do is underline that. This is really important. This is the most important part of the whole question. Now, when we're talking about probability, we're always talking about fractions, and obviously you can see from the answers that they're all in fraction form. So we're having a numerator and a denominator. This part that we just underlined, that's your denominator. All right, so the numerator is always the part that we're interested in, and the denominator is always the whole, but it's not necessarily the grand total. So this in the bottom right corner, this is your grand total. This is the total number of people who were surveyed. All right, but it's not always that. That's why you look very carefully at the question. So in this case, the whole is the people who recalled at least one dream. So what do? We get rid of this. It's not going to be that because that's 0. At least one dream is going to cover all these people in here. And particularly I'll just do this in a different color. The totals, right? We can just use the totals instead of adding up all the individuals. We have totals here. Okay, so these are the totals of the people who recalled at least one dream. We've got 1 to 4 dreams and 5 plus dreams. And then if we add that up, 125 and 39 is 164. So our denominator is 164. And, well, we can just stop and see that C is our answer. It's the only one with a denominator of 164. But let's just say, for the sake of our purposes here, that we had two answers with the denominator of 64. We would still want to figure out what the numerator was. And then we continue reading the question. What is the probability that the person belonged to group Y? So I'll use yet a different color here. Group Y would be here, right? It would be these people in group Y, right? Here's Y. And here we've got these two columns because we have crossed out this first column with 0 dreams. So then we have 68 plus 11 is 79. So our numerator is 79. Okay, that being said, let's go to the next problem. Well, actually, before we go, they could have said, they could have asked you for a different question, right? They could have said, of all the people surveyed, right? And if it was of all the people surveyed, that's when you would be using the grand total, because they literally say of all the people surveyed. If they said of all the people from group X, then we would have a different denominator. So the main thing is that you really look at the question and underline the total of the people that they're asking for, right? From those is like kind of a classic. Or out of all those people, right, out of, from those. Those are key phrases. All right, now let's go to test 2, section 4, number 16. And we've got a smaller table here. And we've got, I'm just going to put the numbers in. We've got 18, 82, 7, and 93. We've got, I'm going to say pass and no pass up here, and then review and no review along the side. All right. The first sentence is just describes, as I have said before. Whenever we have a picture, we have a sentence that describes it. The table above summarizes the results of 200 law school graduates. Now here, it is kind of important that we know it's 200 total, because we don't actually have totals here. Who took the bar exam. If one of the surveyed graduates who passed the bar exam is chosen at random for an interview. Okay, so that's another way of saying out of all the people who passed the bar exam, right? And this is our past column here. So we are going to outline this. Okay, out of all these people, right? That means out of all the people, 18 plus 7 is 25. So our denominator is 25. The question goes on, what is the probability that the person chosen did not take the review course? Well, here's the no review, right? This part is the no review. So we've got a 7 for our numerator. And the answer here is B. Okay, that's all I've got for you. The main takeaway here is making sure that you have your denominator correct. All right, you have a great day. See you later.